When safety becomes the problem, safety feels smart, it feels mature, it feels responsible. Choosing what is safe rarely looks wrong. A stable job, a predictable income, a routine you understand. Nothing about that seems limiting. In fact, it feels like progress. But safety repeated over time changes something quietly. Not your effort, not your intelligence, your range. Every time you choose what is safe, you reduce uncertainty. Reducing uncertainty feels good. It lowers tension. It removes doubt. When doubt is gone, you feel in control. Control creates stability. Stability creates comfort. And comfort slowly becomes the baseline. There is nothing wrong with safety. The problem is repetition. When safety becomes your default, it begins shaping the size of your life. You stop asking what could grow and start asking what could go wrong. You stop looking at what is possible and focus on what is protected. Each safe decision makes sense. You keep your income stable. You avoid unnecessary risk. You stay within what you can predict. Nothing collapses. Nothing feels reckless, but something narrows. When you choose safety again and again, you remove exposure. Exposure brings uncertainty. Uncertainty brings discomfort. So you remove both. But exposure also brings new outcomes, new skills, new rooms. Without exposure, those rooms stay closed. Safety protects what you have. It does not expand what you can reach. If your focus is always on protection, growth becomes secondary, not because you reject it, but because it requires discomfort. And discomfort is what you trained yourself to avoid. Financial control reduces exposure. Exposure introduces volatility. Volatility introduces unpredictability. Unpredictability threatens stability. So the structure removes exposure, quietly. Not because exposure is wrong, but because exposure conflicts with preservation. You tell yourself you are being careful, and you are. You tell yourself you are being responsible, and you are. You tell yourself you are being patient, and you are. But careful, responsible, patient, can slowly become smaller. Safety shapes your habits. You avoid conversations that feel uncertain. You avoid projects that might fail. You avoid decisions that stretch you. You keep your circle predictable, your schedule structured, your income stable. Everything fits. Nothing shakes, and nothing expands. The world responds to the range you allow. If you only allow what feels safe, your world adjusts to that size. Opportunities that feel unstable stop appearing, or when they appear, you filter them out, because they do not match your standard. You start valuing calm more than possibility, predictable outcomes more than bigger ones, low risk more than higher upside. You measure success by how stable it feels, not by how far it stretches you. The problem is not safety itself. The problem is choosing safety as a reflex, as a first response, as the rule. When safety becomes automatic, your decisions shrink before you even notice. You avoid volatility, but volatility is where change happens. You avoid uncertainty, but uncertainty is where growth begins. You avoid discomfort, but discomfort is where capacity expands. You begin to build a life that is calm, organized, protected, and smaller, not dramatically, slowly, year after year. Each safe decision feels minor, but the pattern compounds. Your income remains steady, your expenses stay manageable, your routine feels under control. Nothing dramatic happens. That is why it is hard to see. There is no signal, no crisis, no collapse, only repetition. Choosing safety feels like discipline, but discipline without stretch becomes maintenance. Maintenance keeps things running. It does not create expansion. You may start to feel something subtle, a sense that you are stable, but not moving, comfortable, but not growing, secure, but not expanding. It does not feel urgent, it feels quiet. Safety protects you from loss. It also protects you from change, and change is uncomfortable. So you stay where it feels controlled, where outcomes are known, where nothing unexpected appears. The more you protect, the fewer surprises enter your life. The fewer surprises and the fewer breakthroughs. The fewer breakthroughs, the smaller your world becomes. You are not weak. You are not lazy. You are not incapable. You are consistent. Consistent in choosing what feels secure. A life built only on safety will remain within the borders of safety. It will not suddenly grow beyond them. It will not expand into uncertainty. It will not stretch past what feels controlled. And because nothing feels wrong, there is no reason to stop, no reason to question, no reason to change. Safety feels smart. It feels mature. It feels correct. Until one day you notice, everything is stable, and your world is smaller than it could have been. A life built only on safety will never grow beyond what feels safe, and that is not a failure. It is the result of choosing safety, again and again.